Everyone, welcome to the Bolt Crew podcast. It's a Tuesday. Today's the trade deadline. It's also voting day. So if you went and took care of that, I don't know how many people who actually go stand in line anymore. It seems like most people to mail it in. But either way, all we care about, though, is the trades and everything else that's going on. We're going to get to different trades and how people like are now with different teams, and also how did it affect the division. But real quick, I want to start the show with Monday Night Football, okay? Buccaneers taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs win. They're still undefeated. Mario, by the way, we're going to go through how the picks went. Mario picked that. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if you're looking to say, hey, I'm interested in football wagering, you should follow Mario. He has been on freaking fire. Like, he says some things, you just go, what the F? And sure enough, man, he picks these upsets and he picks the right ones, and he's had a crazy couple weeks, especially the last month, where I'm sitting there going, did this guy miss a game at all? Either way, Buccaneers, I got to ask you guys your opinion. When the Buccaneers have a chance to either kick the extra point to tie it and go to overtime or to go for two, what is your move?
Mario, go. You told us first. What do you move? What's your move?
You go for two. You go for two because you never beat Mahomes in OT. You're never going to do that, especially when your quarterback is Baker freaking Mayfield and your defense is barely holding on by a thread and you're in Kansas City. There's everything that's going against you. Just go for two. Go for the win. You weren't supposed to be in the game anyways. Come on.
If you're barely in the game, which everybody was shocked it was a game, you have to go for two. Todd Bowles has to be one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He's a guy that's going to get fired. I think on this show we're going to talk about coaches that are going to get fired during the season or at the end of the season. He has to be a guy that gets let go, Mario.
Oh, dude, he's been on the flirting with the chopping block. I mean, I don't know how they made the playoffs last year, Dave, but I mean, he's looking at it in the eye.
Yeah, we called this one. By the way, when Dennis Allen, who was let go, we called that one before the season started. Todd Bowles said the same thing. I'll be honest. I want to get to this Chiefs thing real quick, though. But I'll be honest. If you're hiring a defensive coach right now, you're out of your mind. DeMeco Ryans is the last of the great defensive coaches that are going to have success. This league and the rules are meant for offense. You got to hire offensive guys. These quarterbacks make way too much money. You got to go offensive guys if you want to have a chance of keeping your job. But these defensive coaches, man, they're on the way out. So I agree with you guys going back to this. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have won like 8 out of 10 with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. The Chiefs were exhausted. That was your chance to strike. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. But, man, you just ran down the field with them in the bad weather, the end of a game, and to sit there and go, coin flip. When that guy flipped the coin and he said, Chiefs win, I mean tails, Chiefs ball. And I'm like, dude, you guys hear that? And then when Baker Mayfield starts walking off and starts untying his shoelaces, I'm like, oh, of course it's over. Freaking over. I mean, we all knew it was over. And I'd sit there and I go, this is the kind of thing right here where I watch and I go, this is WWE. This is right here feels like everything's rigged when it comes to the Chiefs over and over again every single week.
It's crazy, man. The one good thing about today is we can talk about the Chargers trade. What do you guys think?
That was good.
Get too long-winded.
That at first it gave me a little bit of a heart attack. I was like, wait, did they actually make a trade? I missed it somehow.
Unless it hasn't been announced, they didn't do anything. The only guy, or there's two guys that were linked to the Chargers today, Marshawn Lattimore, who goes to the Commanders, and then KJ Osborne, the receiver, who I believe never went to the Chargers. The trade deadline ended 4 minutes ago.
Okay, but to be honest with you, I was thinking about this a lot. I was preparing myself. I get why no move was made. I'm kind of fine with it. With the way that Ladd's been looking, with the way that Quentin Johnson's been looking, obviously that was a position of need at wide receiver. You look at the past 2 weeks of production, and you go, it's only getting higher. It's only looking better. We can beat the teams on our schedule. We have the Titans this week. That should be a win. We have the Bengals, who are in a death scenario right now. I kind of get it, Dave. Why give pieces out to get stuff back in that's only a rental? Like, let's just keep building on what we got right now.
Man, and look, we didn't expect him to make a move. Just the way it is. I can sit there and lose my mind. I can be upset and say, what do you mean you aren't going to make a move? Like, don't we have bigger aspirations and just make them playoffs? Because I think most people would say this is a playoff team. A lot of people, you ask them, what's your top 10, top 15 teams in the NFL right now? The Chargers are making that list all of a sudden. And as much as we freaked out against, or especially me, against Arizona, and going, how the hell do you lose to the Cardinals? Guess what? The Cardinals are in first place. All of a sudden, the Cardinals look like a good team. Maybe we are really good that we were able to hang with that game. So Charger fans were saying, hey, I've been here from the beginning, and we have Justin Herbert, we have Jim Harbaugh, and we're rolling, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. And you guys aren't going to put the cherry on top to make it, basically this is a finished product. We all know this isn't the best we can be. I just don't get throwing years away. And that's what starts to irritate me, I tell you what else irritates me. I just looked at the stupid coffee cup I'm drinking out of. Leaves are for falling, coffee is for calling. Who put this in my house? It is the dumbest freaking coffee cup I've ever seen. It will go right in the trash when the show is over. Why is that in my goddamn cupboard? Who bought this? What the F?
That's horrible. That's terrible.
Damn
man.
it.
You should be embarrassed.
I didn't even know. I think I drank out of this cup like 20 times. No idea. Who wrote that? Like people that can't work for Hallmark write this crap? Ridiculous. Leaves are for falling, coffee is for calling. It's a goddamn embarrassment.
Mom
Tougher
definitely
than
bought that.
Whatever.
When he
She works with probably gave it to her as a appreciation day. Boss's appreciation day. What a joke that is.
with
That's
the
it. Right in the trash.
All right. Thanks for the update on the coffee cup. With the Chargers, they weren't going to get interior offensive lineman. I think Dave said on the last show, that's just not a position that gets traded during the trade deadline. Nobody has a ton of depth at those positions anyway. I think that's something the Chargers address in the draft or in free agency. I did believe, you said you thought Chargers weren't going to make a move. I did believe now that Joe Ortiz was the GM, Chargers were going to grab a wide receiver and then maybe a tight end, but a wide receiver for sure. When I heard of KJ Osborne, I was in favor of it. I know he hasn't done anything this year, but when he was with the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, he was pretty good. Mario believes we don't need much help at wide receiver. We'll see. These are the next huge games coming up when we have the Ravens and the Bengals and we need wide receiver help. Josh Palmer needs to step up. He's looked pretty good the last few weeks, Mario. Do you believe QJ or Josh Palmer are going to step up when we need them?
They have so far. Like they have the past couple of weeks. And, you look back, we had that terrible game against Cardinals. Obviously, that was a tough loss, and that was a tough game. And there's a lot of weaknesses that was shown on the Chargers. But past two matchups, this is Lab McConkey. 6 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Browns, 5 receptions, 64 yards, 12.8 average, long catch of 20 yards. There's something there. And if you listen to any NFL guy talk, any NFL pod, NFL show, the whole thing is this lad kid's special. He just needs a body. He just needs an NFL body. And he just doesn't really have that yet. Now, can he take over a game this year? That probably not. But I think that we have a good enough QB, and right now we have a good enough system where we can win games on our schedule and we can get into the playoffs. Now, can we make a run in the playoffs? No, we cannot do that. There's just no chance. Probably going to get in there. We're going to lose and get bounced in the first round. If you win, that's a hell of a season. But I think we're talented enough. We have everything where we can make it in and then build off it and go, all right, all of our young guys just gained a year of experience in the playoffs.
Okay. Well, again, we all know we can be better at certain positions. Look, Palmer and Quentin Johnson, they had decent games the other day. You also had a Browns team that, to me, wasn't motivated. Again, a win's a win. I got it. But, I got yelled at on the YouTube chat about, QJ, do you see now and all this stuff. Dude, it was blown coverage. It was completely blown coverage. It was kind of ridiculous as far as IQ goes for the Browns when that situation with the yardages and the way they broke off was very bizarre. But, hey, man, you take advantage of it. He's the one that received the ball. At the same time, Josh Palmer came through with the big catch as well. Man, all for it. That's what you're supposed to do. I wonder now that the trade deadline's over because at the same time, not saying guys are holding back, but there has to be a feeling, I think, when you're a pro athlete and the trade deadline's over and your team is doing the right things as far as wins and losses goes, that you're able to almost not breathe easy, but know the comfort zone. Like, these are the guys. Like, nothing's changing in this room unless somebody gets hurt, but we aren't bringing new guys in. I'm not getting traded. That guy's not getting traded. Bosa's not getting traded. None of these guys are getting traded. This is what we have, and this is what we're going to ride with the rest of the way to know this is our team. This is our family. Did
you catch Jim Harbaugh on Colin Cowherd's show yesterday? He said, we're fine with the team we have. We'll take anybody that will improve the team, but I'm happy with the team we have. And then he says, Jalen Reagor's been good. And I said, whoa. I said, okay, now I don't believe anything you say. I was on board with this whole part of the interview beforehand. The glazing of Justin Herbert at the beginning of the interview was out of control. Like, actually made me a little bit uncomfortable, but
like 2 hands.
Whatever. dude. A little too much. It's a little too much from Harbaugh. But I love that he loves Justin Herbert so much, I guess. But I really do believe, like Mario said, we could use somebody else. If Vlad McConkey goes down, we're in deep S. Like really, really bad shape because there's no other tight end on the team. Hayden Hurst, he's almost on DJ Chark level of does he exist? And then you have a bunch of guys that play receiver. Quentin Johnston has capitalized on blown coverage. You can look at that two different ways. Obviously, you need to make the plays. If they're going to give you those plays, you need to make them. I think this is going to be another week, Mario, where you have to capitalize on mistakes. The Tennessee Titans defense has made a lot of mistakes in the last few weeks. This could be another game where Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnston, maybe even Jalen Reagor can slip through coverage and get a few touchdowns.
I mean, you got a good point, especially too. I think it's another week of taking advantage of what the QB is going to give you. Mason Rudolph or Will Levis, they're going to give you some pretty good chances to win the ball game. Just make sure you take them. The defense too for the Titans. The thing I'm worried about, guys, and I was rewatching the game today, and that like first half, man, the pressure the Browns were able to put on Herbert was really, really, frightening, and it kept reminding me of. Man, I really remember when Jeffrey Simmons was just making life hell for Caleb Williams in that first half against Chicago. And that's similar thing between Chicago and the LA Chargers is that interior O-line is brutal right now. So that could be just something that's going to be a little worrisome heading into that game. But like you said, if Vlad goes out, obviously like, that's an issue. And I think that's going to be a big problem for this team. But like, guys, like if Palmer can slowly come into his own, that could be really something big right there. I know we keep making fun of this DJ Chark thing, but I think there's a lot of belief in that office that, look, when Chark becomes available, this offense is really going to open up. Like, this offense is going to change a couple things.
Are you aware that Christian McCaffrey blew out both Achilles, went to Germany, came back, rehabbed, and got off the IR and back onto the practice field where he looks like he's ready to go before DJ Chark?
I mean, yeah, but like, hey, everyone heals different. Everyone heals different.
Dude, all of us are like, this is for the old people because you guys know what I'm talking about. All of us are just like Linus in the big pumpkin patch waiting for something to happen. Like, I don't know anyone, you tell me anyone on this side here without looking it up. What is DJ Chark's number? Like, what jersey number is he wearing? Nobody's seen this guy. Seriously. I mean, come on. We do this every freaking week. I think you guys on the side in the chat are just effing with us at this point. It's all over the place. Chark comments this, Chark comments that. It is crazy. If he comes in and does a great job, fine. As far as Joshua Palmer goes, by the way, in my opinion, I think he is what he is. He's serviceable. We all expect him to be better, but sometimes you ask too much from somebody that's not capable. And Quentin Johnson has that bar as far as we say the ceiling, to be able to grow more. So I'm kind of curious to see if he does get better. I know the Chargers are going to give him every opportunity this year. But Mark, I think as far as looking at Joshua Palmer, his career is his career. This is the kind of player he is in the NFL. When I look at Ladd McConkey, I worry about injuries. J.K. Dobbins, I worry about injuries. There are a lot of things that you sit there and go, man, I'm not so sure. Like, what if things get bad? But when I start thinking that way, I'm going to jinx the team by thinking negative. I don't want to think about the injuries that could possibly happen. So, Josh, one thing Jim Harbaugh said that you said you're kind of shaken by is Jalen Reagor, when he gave a compliment to him. The play he made against Arizona before he asked the bed was a decent play. Like, it was like, hey, we could use that guy. Oh, shoot. He just fumbled the ball out of the end zone. But besides that, he might be somebody before the season is over. I'm going to say, mark my word. I go, I'm glad that guy's on our team. I don't know.
You think that's going to happen?
No, I don't, but I'm holding on for hope. I could
see it happening.
I hope so. I'm holding on for hope.
I'm surprised that Darius Davis is still in the rotation at this point. Like, I don't know. He just seems like kind of just a guy when it comes to the receiver. I understand the specialist part of him, but if you're not going to utilize him on jet sweeps or like make him run in space, I just don't see his value on the team really.
I mean, they use him for jet sweeps. He's used for jet sweeps.
He is, but he's like not enough. He doesn't get used enough where it's like a threat at this point. Where he's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at him right now. Something interesting.
When he shows up to the party afterwards, he's like, hey, Darius Davis, jet sweep guy? Oh, yeah, I know you. Like, that's what he's known for. That's it, right? He's our jet sweep guy.
Turn specialist.
If the Chargers had a real good receiving corps, there's no way he sees the field, really, because even the jet sweeps, he doesn't do much. something interesting that they talked about on the Colin Cowherd show was Jim Harbaugh brings an identity to the team. Chargers, for the longest time, we've talked about on this show, never had an identity. Under Brandon Staley, they for sure never had an identity. Now you can kind of see it coming in fruition. This team has an actual identity. They went from having, I believe, the 25th ranked scoring defense to number 1 in the league. In some capacity, you could see that the receivers are actually ranked. It's clear right now. I think Ladd McConkey's the 1, QJ's the 2 when he plays, and then Josh Palmer's the 3. Before, we just had a crapshoot of guys that would fill in behind Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So one thing I do really like about Jim Harbaugh so far is that you really have an identity with this team. Khalil Mack has been everything for this team. I think he's been the highest rated defender in like 5 games this season. Derwin James looks like the old Derwin James. Henley looks great. It's really great to see as a fan that you see your team developing an identity, Mario.
And the improvement's huge, right? Like if you watched Henley, against the Cardinals, there's multiple times where he just kind of got caught in a tough spot, and James Conner was kind of able to escape a tackle from him, kind of juke back into a different hole and really kind of carve the Chargers defense up a little bit. We faced Nick Chubb. Obviously, Nick Chubb's a lot better of a running back than James Conner. I know Nick Chubb's coming off an injury, but still. And, if you go back and watch, man, you see Henley breaks down quicker. He's smarter on the decision, smarter on his angles of how to get the running back down. There was even one time where, Jameis kind of rolled out, and he did a great job of like anticipating the throw to Njoku and just getting on it quick. Like he didn't try to jump it too quick where it was like, hey, man, what are you doing? And Jameis was like, expose him. No, he's able to kind of hit it at the perfect moment at the right time to make a play on the football and like cause a 4th down. It's little things like that where the growth of it and this team all one is buying in, Dave, and getting better. And I can honestly say in the past 2 years, I don't think the Chargers really had an identity. I don't think we ever really saw improvement. I think this is the first time where when you face them, it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a hard game. The defense is going to be all over you. And if, you don't put someone over McConkey that can stay in front of him, he's going to get 5 every time with Herbert throwing it to him. And you got to watch out for him on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's funny. Identity, I think that all started with Josh threw it up at us beginning of last year, and we're all like, man, that's the one thing that we sit there and we shake our head and go, you're right. I mean, we don't know what we are. Even the fans had a hard time figuring out what we were. Buddy of mine who's a Charger season ticket holder and loved Brandon Staley to the point I just wanted to punch him in the face. Would not say enough nice things about Brandon Staley over and over again. And finally he came around and going, this guy's killing us. And I was like, yeah, dude, he is killing this franchise. Jim Harbaugh is the guy that gives you a reason to believe in yourself. That's what he creates in that culture. So when I look at what the Chargers are doing right now, and again, here they are winning record, a couple games over 500. They're supposed to take care of the Titans this weekend. The Bengals game, for people who aren't aware, was now flexed out. It's now the Sunday night game. Now you're getting more national attention. Guess what? You're going to come back the following week with another national game, Monday Night Football, when it's Harbaugh against Harbaugh. This is the kind of thing that the Chargers were hoping were going to happen. Maybe for the Chargers and Dean Spanos, it's even happening faster than they expected it to be. I mean, this was one of the worst teams in the league last year. And I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl contender right now, but the identity of this team is that this is a winning organization. And that is big, man. And I'll ask you, Mario, before Josh goes next, is the Commanders. You're hearing all these stories because Mario's in Washington, D.C., that you're hearing stories that guys are hoping to get traded to the Commanders. I mean, that sounds like so freaking crazy, but all of a sudden it changed like that. And for the Chargers, it has changed too.
The crazy thing too about the Commanders is like, remember just a year ago, 2 years ago, that was like the career ender like destination. Like you go there, you're going to play for a crappy owner that everyone can't stand, that everyone hates. You're going in a direction that no one really knows where. Ron Rivera just did not have that organization cooking at all. They literally had players going on radio stations and going, yeah, like I very much contemplating like just retiring. Like this is awful. This is dumb. I'm tired of, playing in this system, playing for this team. There's nothing good here. You had fans like almost dying at the stadium trying to get a high five from a player, then it freaking collapses. And then now, you get new ownership, you get a GM and someone made a really good point about the Commanders where the old regime would overpay for a player at the end of his career, aka Donovan McNabb type of guy. versus now they're trading for a guy that would just be perfect for the moment and perfect for the spot for that team, aka Sean Lattimore that they got today. Like 28 years old, a little bit older, but lots of experience and is going into a secondary that needs a lot of help, led by a great defensive mind.
Yeah, I think the Houston Texans are another example of an organization nobody wanted to play for. They bring in D'Amico Ryans, they draft CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. All of a sudden, that's a destination where people want to go. I'm going to give a quick rundown on the notes that Mario created. I'm going to steal his notes. This is the NFL news from today, in case, or this week, in case you've missed out. The Saints have fired Dennis Allen, and their special teams coach is going to take over as the new interim coach. The Raiders have fired first-year offense coordinator Luke Getsy, offensive line coach James Craig, and quarterbacks coach, I'm not going to announce his name. Cowboys, Dak Prescott is expected to miss multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. Oh, no, that team's going to be even worse. CMC is expected to
How funny
return.
it would be if they weren't worse.
Dude, that could definitely happen. Is Cooper Rush the backup quarterback?
Yeah, he's the backup quarterback, but
Yeah.
Dak's the highest paid player in the league.
Crazy.
Reverse, like, quick thing on that though, and I agree with everyone that's saying this. Play Trey Lance.
They should
Start Trey Lance. Yeah, that's a good way to, trade him too. But just see what you have there. Why not? You suck anyway.
I agree with you. Yeah, you suck no matter what. Commanders trade for four-time Pro Bowler Marshawn Lattimore. Great corner. You disagree?
I disagree on the Cowboy quarterback situation. Jerry's old as dirt. Like, Jerry's buying when everyone's telling him to sell. Like,
he'll never sell.
Like,
yeah,
this still no. I mean, trade for the future.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
But
never sell.
Like, as much money as Jerry has, Jerry knows he can't beat Father Time, and he wants to win before he drops. So when you sit there and you look at the quarterback situation they have, I would play the number 2, trade him. He's the guy. I don't know his contract situation. Trey Lance stinks, man. Honestly, he's right there as one of the worst players in the history of this league. He stinks. You know what you got. Now, if you were going to sit there and say kind of tanking the season, then yeah, Trey Lance is your guy. But the Cowboys are such a mess. I mean, they have 3 guys that other people might want on that whole team. Terrible.
They should.
Why didn't you trade Zach Martin? Why didn't they trade Zach Martin today?
They should have, to the Chargers. It would have been awesome.
I would have traded Parsons. I would start putting his
He's injured, but
still,
the whole thing is freaking nuts to me. And by the way, you went so fast. I loved what the Raiders did, and whether that was Tom Brady's call or not, that basically Antonio Pierce. You're going to sit there in your own S, and you're going to sit there and suffer. We're going to sit there and fire all these coaches. You don't coach offense. And you're going to sit there and you have basically the bye week, and when they come back to figure it out in your next game, you're going to sit there and you're going to drown in your own S.
Okay, I saw that differently, actually.
Oh, did it? Go ahead.
I saw that as scapegoat. It makes.
I thought it was. You ever see when they make a kid run? When they say, "Hey, you aren't doing your thing, Mario." So guess what? Instead of making everybody run, making you run. We're gonna make everyone run, and you got to stand in the middle of the field while they run laps. Your punishment is you made your teammates run. You ever have a coach do that move? Just the opposite of what you think is gonna happen. It's the worst, right? I thought that's what they did to Antonio Pierce. No, we're gonna fire all your friends. And you don't coach offense, you aren't going to be able to fix it. Guess what? It's a bye week, so those guys aren't going to be in the facility, the players, to learn this guy's new language. Good luck to you guys.
But I don't know. I think counter to that, what does every head coach do that's like the seat's getting pretty hot? Like, what do? You take the worst side of the ball and you fire that coordinator, and then you scapegoat him. You go, he was a problem. Frank Wright did that. In Indianapolis, and I think he did that in I don't think he did that in Carolina. But he did that. Matt Rule did that. Like, a lot of coaches do that, where it's like, no, they're the problem. Staley did that with Lombardi. You let him go. He was a problem. I'm not the problem. So I think that I could see that being it, where like it buys Pierce time to go, oh, I just got the wrong guys in, and you did. Luke Getsy's an idiot.
Well, you can blame Devontae Adams and Max Crosby as well. They're the ones that vouch for Antonio Pierce. Joe, don't never let your players choose the coach. You make your own decisions. I'm going to run through this news real quick. If I'm going too fast, let me know. Commanders bring in Marshawn Lattimore on a trade for 3 picks. Lions trade for defensive end Zadarius Smith, which I think is a great pickup. The Steelers traded for Dave's boy Mike Williams. Packers trade Preston Smith to the Steelers. A little surprising. Rams are sending cornerback Tre'Davious White to the Ravens. Running back Khalil Herbert goes
Curious.
to.
Why?
I'm going to be able to read these. I'm
No,
almost
well,
done.
I'm just saying, why would the Rams do that? The Rams are playing great.
But they said earlier on, like 2 weeks ago, like they gave him permission. Like both sides were like,
Go
we're
s-
moving
go seek
on.
your own move. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like that was a mutual respect thing. And the Ravens need it, by the way. That secondary is booty. It's not good.
Gotcha.
I don't want to read it anymore. No.
You got to read them now.
There's only a
Mario
couple
put
left.
all that time in. Mario put all that time in. You got to read them.
Do you want me to read
didn't
them?
No, I didn't mean to talk while Dave was interrupting. So I'll finish this out. Panthers trade wide receiver Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys. That's all I had left. I had one left, and you wouldn't let me finish.
All right.
One thing that's not in
Son,
the notes here.
cheers.
One thing that's not in the notes here that we have to talk about. Do you remember when Mark Sanchez had the butt fumble and they showed it on ESPN for weeks and weeks and weeks? That's
Yeah.
the worst play you've ever seen. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Saquon Barkley play is the greatest play I've ever seen.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it is incredible. I've watched it 100 times. What's your thoughts on Dave? You watch football the longest out of all of us. Where does that rank? Like that was amazing.
Dude, I want to tell you, it's right up there as one of the greatest plays I've ever seen in sports. Until I saw Devontae Smith's one-handed catch in the into the end zone, keep both feet in, might have been the greatest play, and that was in the same game. Devontae Smith's catch was insane. That was a
Devontae Smith's
crazy
catch
game.
was great, but you've seen one-handed catches before. You've never seen no look hurdle.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It was
Dude, he
was
could have taken a
unusual
helmet.
for sure.
He could have
Took
taken
a
a helmet to the
vest.
anus. Yeah.
Dude, the hit he got after it, like when he landed, was like a pretty hard hit too. Like that's the one I was like, he got like as soon as he landed, he got drilled, and I was like, God, no one's talking about that hit too after it.
He's a
B.
beast.
Hannon says it got him 2 extra yards. Big deal.
You
I
could
would have done
get,
it.
yeah. That's you know what, like that's I am so athletic, and I am pretty sure I have a lot of guys around me. Let's just see if this works. That's what I thought that was. You know,
100%. Yeah. Just spitballing. Out of the news I just read, though, which thing do you want to talk about the most? Mike Williams to the Steelers? Does that mean anything to you? Dak's injury. I really don't care about the Cowboys at all.
Mike Williams is going to be great. He's going to be great. You know, I tell you what, speaking of guys that change teams, going to be great. I mean, look at Hopkins last night from the Chiefs. I mean, God dang it, we could have used him. You know, I'm sorry. I think we would have got the Hopkins that the Chiefs had that the Chargers would have got the same out of. I think you come here and you play for Harbaugh. It's a different level. I mean, he was miserable in Tennessee. Everyone that's in Tennessee seems to be miserable anyway. Look at the guys the Chargers have that the Titans said weren't any good. Those guys are killing it for us, you know? I mean, when you get with the right coach and you get with the right owner, I guess, because Dean, not saying he's one of those guys who goes, he's one of the greatest owners in the league. Dean knows not to show up. Like, I mean, Dean stays over there. I hire you as the GM. I hire you as the head coach. That's it. He's not the Jerry Jones guy, which I think benefits a pro team. I think when you have an owner that needs to be the face of the organization, I think that's a benefit. So at the same time, I think DeAndre Hopkins would have been great for us to watch what he did yesterday. I'm not saying Mike Williams will be that for the Steelers, but if Mike Williams is anything, you're going to see the best Mike Williams has to offer with Tomlin. Otherwise, man, if he can't play for Tomlin, dude, you can't play in this league.
I think Mario disagrees with you.
Mario looks
No,
like he's had an allergy attack. What
I was
happened? over there?
I was trying so hard to not sneeze because I was on like a separate dock looking up Steelers receiver room, and I was trying to get back to the tab and hold it in the sneeze. It just didn't work.
You look constipated. But what do you think?
I was constipated. I was trying to figure out the
nasally
depth chart.
What do you think, though?
Constipated.
Do you think Mike Williams makes it different? Like, to me, Mike Williams is just a guy right now. Like, when I watch him on the Jets, it's like he doesn't even exist.
I think he might be just the adult in the room for the receivers in Pittsburgh, right? Because right now you have George Pickens, who is happy when you get him the ball, who plays well and keeps his head straight when you give him the ball. He can go off the rails pretty quick. I just think Mike, you get him in there, and it's with, Van Jefferson, who's won a Super Bowl, who's, kind of a level-headed guy. But Mike's in there going, yeah, like, I've been a star in this league, not really anymore. I'm not who I used to be, but I still have something left. And that's, like, let's be honest, man. If you look at this Steelers offense, it's kind of their identity led by Russell Wilson. And I think it's just one more weapon you can kind of add to him and go, all right, let's see what we can do with this, right? And I think also Steelers are recognizing a moment right now where they go, all right, Browns are done. Bengals are literally 1 or 2 losses from being absolutely done. And I know the Ravens look super, amazing right now. Just had a big win over the Broncos, but like there's some clear, weaknesses in that team that I think they can expose. And similar to the Cowboys and them like never gonna sell at the deadline. Steelers will never sell, especially with Mike Tomlin as head coach.
It's true. I thought the trade deadline was kind of weak. I thought with 9 teams having 2 wins, which I don't even know how that's mathematically possible. 9 weeks in the season that there's 9 teams, with
Same.
2 wins. That's crazy. I thought there's going to be more trades. There's so many teams that are out of it. There's not one superstar that got traded during the deadline. I guess Marshawn Lattimore would be maybe he. I don't think he's a superstar. He's a star player, but that's really it. We got an old DeAndre Hopkins. You got Amari Cooper, who hasn't done much. It's kind of a weak trade deadline. I don't know if any of these guys make a huge impact. Maybe Marshawn Lattimore, Emmanuel Forbes, holy miss on that draft pick with the Commanders. I thought the Chargers, though, for sure, Mario, we're going to grab somebody. I don't know.
I thought so too, but like again, for like what they were looking for, like at this period of time, was there anything really like left? Like if you're really looking for a tight end, what tight end was really going to be out there? Because every team that had someone that you thought like, Njoku or Hunter Henry, those teams like, no, they're off limits. So like, I don't know if there just was a lot of teams that were willing to, have a party with you. It's like at 2 a.m. when you go on like a dating app, you're like, I want to, have a little partner tonight. And it's just like, well, it's just, pool's not big, brother. So you're gonna have to, look something up.
How can any of those guys be off limits? I mean, when your team is that bad, how can you have anyone that's off limits? It's just you didn't call an offer enough. I mean, if you called and you offer enough, they're going to get rid of guys. You tell me the Patriots aren't saying we're in better shape if we, completely blow it and all of a sudden we're getting Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? I mean, they got their franchise quarterback. So you might as well get rid of Hunter Henry. He's 100 anyway. Just get rid of him. And then you sit there and we added another pick. And we win twice. We're going to continue to lose games. And at the same time, we're going to get the greatest athlete in college football to come play for us next year. And you just stay on that path. But whatever, whatever the Chargers thought, whatever we think as fans that they wanted, they obviously didn't want because they didn't pick up the phone. And that's just the way it went. We stood pat and we're going to ride this thing out and we'll see how it goes. As I said a couple weeks ago, when this team makes the postseason, and even though everyone says this isn't a Super Bowl year, when they do get eliminated at whatever point that is, we're all going to be upset. I mean, like really upset because we're going to sell ourselves the entire week. We can beat this team. Like they can do it. You do this, this, and this, they're going to win. We're all going to believe it before the game starts. And then we come on to the post game, we're all going, I can't believe they lost. But that's the way it is set up. And it's frustrating when you have a quarterback, as Jim says, he's the greatest thing of all time that you're wasting a year of his career. And then I feel bad for a guy like Khalil Mack. Like if you're the front office, how do you even look Khalil Mack in the eye to go, dude, you're like almost 40 and we're just going to throw away a year that you're giving us all you have. Kind of frustrating.
It just shows that they're not interested in winning this year. They're planning for the future.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to kind of almost respect the plan, but yeah, like you said, it's frustrating.
I think it's with the Mac though, it's kind of like we can plan for the future and still be competitive now. I think they love that part of it. The only downside is like if 2 years when this offense is really cooking, like Mac's probably out. He's probably done. And then you hope
out on it.
Yeah,
100%.
and then you just hope that like Thule at that point is an insanely good edge rusher, or you go and draft someone or trade or pick up or someone whatever. But I mean, also by the way, I love what the Lions did today. Zadarius Smith, I thought that was a really good, just small pickup, very smart play. Because I don't think you should. I don't think they should. Yeah, I don't think they should. By the way, I thought it'd be dumb if they did a full sale for like Crosby or Garrett. I thought that would be a little dumb. The more I thought about it.
So Darius Smith is the perfect pickup, I believe. Mar, you have a list here of 3 coaches you think get fired. Are these 3 coaches that get fired during the season or after the season?
So one of the guys on the list, it's going to have to be after the season because that's just how they go. So it's Doug Peterson, I think's done. And I think that Jaguars team's done as a whole. I mean, holy hell. See you later, guys. That guy's already looking at different properties in different states, man. That experiment's over. Very curious if they move on from Trevor Lawrence or they try to, because that contract's big. And you know what's not big? Him and his numbers, because they freaking suck. And he sucks ass. And he can't not sucks ass. He's a fine player. but he's just not playing very good. I think he's probably the next coach fired. I think Brian Dable and Matt Eberflus are the two guys to watch at the end of the year get the boot, because Chicago just doesn't fire guys midseason as head coach. They just don't. But I mean, what more evidence do you need on Flus? And Dable, great first year, overachieved. I think from faults of the GM, I would say faults of the GM, Dave, have kind of screwed him over. Where like they had false belief that Daniel Jones was something, and turns out he's nothing, and then you let go of your best offensive weapon in Saquon Barkley.
Okay, how happy would you guys be if the Chargers had Dable as their offensive coordinator next year?
Cloud 9.
Cloud 9,
Literally
right?
Cloud 9.
I mean, he's a really good coach when he has a quarterback. Again, for anyone who remembers, he was the guy who was the offensive coordinator when Tua threw Devontae Smith to win the national championship against Georgia at Alabama. And at the same time, he had Josh Allen rolling when he was with the Bills. He needs a quality quarterback, So every year, 7 teams minimum change head coaches, right? Black Monday. So just firing through. You guys count if you can for me.
Okay.
Jets are going to look for a permanent new coach. Browns are going to look for a new coach. Bengals, I could see looking for a new coach. Jaguars are going to look for a new coach. Raiders are going to look for a new coach. Cowboys. You think Antonio Pierce is coming back?
This is where I disagree with you guys. I think Pierce is very safe for another year.
All right, hold on one second. Okay. Let me finish it off real quick. Okay. So Raiders, Giants looking for a new coach. Eagles, I think, are looking for a new coach.
I disagree too. Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. That's why we're doing the show. Okay. So at the same time, I think everyone in the NFC South keeps their job. I'm sorry, Bears, the coach loses their job. Sorry, you're out. Not everyone in the South.
Saints, right?
Saints already fired Dennis Allen.
I mean, NFC North. I'm sorry. My eyes are going. Sorry. NFC North. The Bears keep he's out. He's the only one in that out of those guys. Lions, Packers, Vikings all keep their jobs. NFC South. Saints will have a new permanent coach. Tampa Bay, I think, could have a new coach. NFC West. I think everyone in the NFC West keeps their job. Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks. Those guys all keep their jobs. That's a lot I threw at you. Did you count how many that was?
I got 9.
Okay, 9. So first, let's start with the Raiders. Tell me why you think Antonio Pierce keeps his job. Because Tom Telesco is afraid Antonio Pierce is going to beat the dog crap out of him in the parking lot? Why?
No, just because of all the coaches you're still paying to not coach.
Doesn't matter. It's Tom Brady.
Is Tom Brady really going to walk in there swinging it and go, I have every word of saying here now? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Tom Brady, man, is about winning, and he knows his face is now in the organization.
He's calling games. He barely even knows what's going on. He can't even watch the games on Sunday because he's announcing for Fox.
I disagree. I think Tom Brady is all in on this team. He's running his mouth. I think Tom Brady's all in.
Let me ask you a question, Mario. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Tom Brady would have joined the Raiders if he didn't have a huge say? Why would he waste his time?
What's every guy's dream? To own a football team. Why not? I just think there's no way that he comes in and has sorry, I just got a weird text. I think this is that just frazzled me. It was a family issue. Give me 1 second. I gotta read a line.
Right.
I hope that person's
All right.
okay. No, I just highly doubt that a guy that has owned a team for so long in Mark Davis with the GM that just came in a year ago, that's trying to put this team in a different direction, is going to allow Tom Brady, no matter who he is or what he was as a player, and even though he's the GOAT, I highly doubt he's going to come in and go, Tom, you're going to fire this guy. Tom, you're going to bring in this guy. Mark, you're going to make him do this and do that. I just do not see that happening. I think they already scapegoated someone, and that someone was Luke Getsy and everyone on the offensive staff. I think he's going to get 2 years. I think they owe it to him and feel like, well, let's just give him 2 years to see what happens. I don't think he has that much power just yet.
Who's the face of the organization?
Max Crosby?
It's Tom Brady.
Honestly?
Tom Brady's the face of the organization. He is. Even women know Tom Brady owns the Raiders now. I mean, when I say women, I don't say women are football fans. I'm talking people like my wife who don't know football at all. She knows Tom Brady's now the owner of the Raiders.
Yeah,
and she doesn't know anything about what?
Yeah, because you bring it up every show.
No, know why? Because her friends bring it up all the time. They bring it up all the time.
Because her friend has the hots for Tom Brady.
Yeah, she does. She does. She has a fat head in her closet, like life size. But it's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story. But at the same time, Tom Brady is not a loser. Neither is Magic Johnson. Look at the Commanders, right? I mean, when you're one of those guys that wins all the time, you're addicted to winning. And that's where those guys are at. I don't see a guy like that getting involved if he thought he was going to lose. I mean, even when he bought the Las Vegas Aces, why do you think he got involved in that? Yeah, you own a team, but at the same time, he knows he got the best team.
Oh, he got the best team, Raiders?
Aces. I'm talking WNBA, Mario.
I know, but you're saying like, yeah, because he got the best in the Aces. He didn't get the best team with the Raiders. And yeah, he's addicted to winning. So was Jordan. How good of an owner was he?
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Bird was addicted to winning. Yeah,
Bird took the Pacers to the NBA Finals. He took the Pacers
to the
NBA
GM. No, he was high on Tyler Hansbrough.
Yeah, I got it. Guess what? You would have drafted him too. You love Tyler Hansbrough.
Obviously, I would have.
I knew if anything North Carolina, you weren't going against it. There's no way.
Oh
yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't know if he gets fired. That's the one guy I think. I don't know. Todd Bowles could be safe too, kind of, just from last year, maybe.
I honestly though, Telesco didn't hire Antonio Pierce. He was kind of stuck with him. And then remember, Antonio Pierce tried to bully Telesco when he got the job about trading up for Jaden Daniels. He's like, okay, but he made it public and put him in a bad spot when he first walked in the door. I'm sure Telesco made phone calls just like the Giants made phone calls. The Commanders knew exactly what they had in Jaden Daniels, Yeah. Anyway, before you get to the super chats, I want to ask you, two crazy things happened this weekend. I'm to the point where I'm addicted to these crazy things. Like every time something happens in the NFL where I'm like, wow, that's nuts. Start with DJ Moore with the Bears. Okay. Walking off the field in the middle of a play. Not only is it hilarious that he walked off the field, but he literally walked off the field and made it to the bench to sit down while the plane was still going on. Like he didn't he picked up running to I got to get to the bench before the play's over. He just completely took his time walking and made it to put his ass on the bench to look up and see that the play is still going. He just quit. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before.
It's
how do you look your teammates in the face?
And you make $100. They just gave you $100 million. We saw it on Hard Knocks. Remember they pulled him off the practice field and they gave him $100 million.
Yeah, that's weak. Super
that's
weak.
Crazy. I got something crazier.
You
have something you want to say about it, Mario?
I was about to say.
Next one,
if you want something, it's not a bright side. There's no bright side to it. There's nothing, just darkness.
There's nothing you can do.
Darkness. It's going to Alaska right now, this time of year. Yeah. Not this time of year, probably like a month. It's just darkness all the time and depression. I gotta know what to say. It was a big topic of discussion yesterday on just like Chicago radio. I was trying to see if they're gonna say anything about the Bulls because I was curious, and it was just literally DJ Moore sitting down as Caleb Williams runs the other way trying to find someone open
for his life.
It's insane.
Running for his life.
Literally running for his life, and DJ Moore is like on the bench, like calling over a trainer. But look, that the team takes on the personality of its head coach. I'll just say that. How about that? Takes on, and their head coach is an idiot. So
that was crazy. All right, the second thing that was even crazier to me is Jermaine Burton, wide receiver for the Bengals, who all of a sudden, dude, you're going to play. You're a rookie. You're going to get a chance to play because guess what? We have some injuries in our wide receiver group, and we're going to drop plays, and you're going to be on the field, and here's your chance to make it after all those years of you running laps in middle school and high school and playing at Alabama, believe it or not. And Nick Saban questioned his maturity, and a guy misses practice the Saturday before the game, misses the walkthrough, and he's in a casino, and he's gambling in his pajamas. he's gambling and he misses practice, and then he shows up to the game. Of course, they make him inactive, shows up in the same pajamas that they took a picture of him wearing at the casino. Like he went from practice Friday to the casino, never went home, it looked like, from Saturday to Sunday to straight to the stadium. Holy cow, dude. Your first opportunity as an NFL player, and you're playing slots. Like it wasn't like he was playing blackjack and winning a ton. He was addicted to slots. Dude, my mother-in-law was addicted to slots. Played that till she's like 90. Like, what the hell, dude? What are you doing? How do you explain that to your family? Would you rather be DJ Moore or Jermaine Burton?
Yeah, it's supposed to play slot receiver, not slot machine.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Crazy, dude.
Crazy, man.
Crazy.
He was crazy at Bama too. He did some insane stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
What do you-
nuts.
okay. If you're the Bengals, what do you do? Do you cut him from the team? What do you do?
I suspend him for a game. He's suspended for the week. That's what I would do. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Crazy.
If it was the Colts, they'd suspend him for the rest of the season. Look what they did to Anthony Richardson.
That's ridiculous, dude. It still bothers me that he took himself out. All right, we got to get to the super chats. We're going to start it off with AK 499. Appreciate AK. It says Mario, people need to listen to this man. He is smart. The offseason is huge. Thank you, Mario. You are awesome. Taking AK side. I hope they listen. All
I
right.
like it.
I thought we were friends.
There you go.
AK.
Let's go, AK. Let's go.
Mario's getting smarter every
That's
time,
it,
though.
bro.
I agree with AK.
Hey, double down.
Yeah.
He said it twice. Thanks again, AK.
Did he?
Yeah.
Does that mean we got double the money?
Yep. $5 from Young West. He says, I don't care if we look good for a few weeks. Championship teams get better before trade deadlines. You have to get better. Look at the Chiefs. No wonder they win. I agree with Young West. They didn't have to get DeAndre Hopkins, but they knew it would make the team better. The Bills didn't have to get Amari Cooper, but it made them better. You see that all the time with good teams. They're always looking to get better. The Chargers are obviously, probably waiting for next year.
Yeah, just to be clear on this, I don't know how it came across on the show. All three of us wanted the Chargers to make a move. We just kind of knew the direction it was going. Like we were all hoping for a move, most people. So I don't disagree with Young West that, hey, the good teams find a way to get better every single week if they can. I mean, they even throw away their values, their morals. I mean, Kareem Hunt scored almost a game-winning touchdown. He got kicked off the team, out of the organization, but it's all right. Hey, nobody looking. We're going to forget everything he possibly did, and we're going to make a deal with the devil and bring Kareem Hunt in as long as we can win another Super Bowl. People do it all the time. They throw everything out the window for wins.
Except for the Chargers.
Except for the Chargers.
LS 499, she says, it's bad when Bosa is more reliable than Chark.
Oh, God. She's
God.
right.
Yeah, that's
She's right.
Yeah, that's true. It's sad. Ryan Culpepper, $10. Thank you, Ryan. He says, was hoping for a tight end more than receiver, to be honest. Also, they have a big 2025 free agent guard and or center in mind. I can't watch another year with an S interior offensive line bolt the F up.
Ryan, we're all with you on that. I wanted a tight end more than a receiver. What did you guys want? But I knew there weren't any tight ends out there outside of Njoku. That's it.
Hunter Henry. I mean, I would have taken him.
Yeah. I told you, Henry
I would
crazy knee.
I would expect the Chargers to be one of the most active teams in free agency this upcoming season.
Yeah, I think so. 100%.
I hope so. I mean, look, if they brought in Hunter Henry, would you guys said, hey, that's an upgrade, or would you have just said, what would you have said? All right, now we got a real threat. Like, what would have been your feeling on Hunter Henry?
Big upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge upgrade.
But not like, not like, hey, we just brought in a guy that's a complete mismatch every week, but an upgrade from what they have.
Right? Yeah.
You would go, if you brought in Hunter Henry, you'd go from the 32nd best starting tight end to like the 20th best starting tight end, which is a huge upgrade.
It is a big upgrade. I told him, man, he has that knee thing where in the locker room, he's like, hey, how does this look? And he takes his kneecap and he basically pulls it all the way to the side of his leg. It was like that scene in Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, Mr.
He's
Deeds.
like, hey, look at this. It looked just like that. I was like, that doesn't look good at all. Freaked me out. He's played now another 8 years since you showed him his knee.
That's crazy. Joey Bosa's like, what are you doing? Bobby Sullivan, next one. He says, I am starting to feel more comfortable with our corners and our wideouts. If we do make a move tonight, it needs to be for a tight end or interior offensive lineman. I watch every post. Good work, man. I believe the trade deadline's over. I don't think they can make a move. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't make a move.
Stop watching. Yeah. But Bobby,
well, thanks for checking out every post. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the show. Absolutely. And by the way, Jason Kelsey went on ESPN yesterday to start Monday Night Football with an apology. I don't know if you guys saw his apology. Completely disagree with that. Disagree with that. Like, I think as a human being, if somebody's in your space, you have every right to protect yourself or whatever it takes. And man, not only is he in his space, he went after his brother. You can say a lot of things to me, You say something about Josh or Mario, it's on. I'll tell you right now. That's just kind of way I am. I have really thick skin, but man, you go after other people. That's when I get mad. I mean, he went after his brother. Good for him. I guarantee you his mother, Jason Kelsey's mom, was like, good for you. I'm proud of you. That's what you're
I
supposed
wish
to
there
do.
was a law where if you have like audio footage that somebody talked bad about somebody in your family, you can beat the dog crap out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for that. 100%.
Yeah.
He should not have
Yeah.
apologized. What that guy said about Travis Kelsey, that was my brother. I'd do the same thing. Insane. That guy's actually lucky. Jason Kelsey didn't beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. Guy was a starting center in the NFL a year ago. He would have pounded that. He would have really hurt him.
Broken him in half. I think it's one of those things too, where like this does a number on people, and you think you're. I think people now that have grown up with like cell phones like around all the time, they used to talking smack through a phone, and it's like, I'm not to sound like I'm an old man that grew up in this 70s, but like the whole of you talk smack, you're gonna get hit has kind of like gone away now. You know what I mean? It's like kids now think that I can say whatever I want to this guy. There's no repercussions. It's like, buddy, if you haven't been hit in the face before, it kind of hurts pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I was, since today is a voting day, I'll tell you right now. Here's a law that I would put in. You should be allowed to punch one person a year in the face. Okay. And as a human being, if you get punched more than one time a year, like just because, I use my punch on Mario and I'm not allowed to punch anyone else, but other people use their punch on Mario too. Eventually Mario's going to go, what the hell? Maybe I am a jerk. I keep getting punched in the face. Everyone wastes their one punch a year on me. Hey, maybe you should check yourself. It'd be a big look in the mirror. You get punched more than one time a year. Guess what? You sit there and you go, hey, I might not be that good of a guy. I rub people the wrong way. I keep getting punched in the face. Just saying.
I like that.
I like that. Without getting arrested, you should be able to punch one person a year in the face.
You should run for office.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I'd vote for
Then
you.
I'll get to the homeless problem. But yeah, anyway. I get rid of all the bike lanes, by the way.
Yeah. Dude, I hate bikers.
Dude, they're so goddamn arrogant. I never check my mirror for a biker. Damn it.
They don't follow the traffic laws.
Yeah.
They don't. What's even so like
the guys on bike goes through red lights all the time.
Yep.
Bikers are more annoying too in the suburbs than they are in the city.
Why?
Because in the city, not in the city, in the suburbs, this is probably really Indiana based, but like there's no way to get around them. So they're just going on the road and you're like, buddy, you are 43 years old wearing tights that I can see your junk and I don't want to see. And you're going 5 miles per hour and I got to get somewhere. Like it infuriates me. And it's like, why are you doing this at 4 p.m. today? Do this at 5 in the morning when no one's on the road. That sends me to no end. Like do it when no one's around.
I don't trust guys that walk into a coffee shop with that Velcro strap around the end of their jeans on their right leg so their jeans don't get caught in the chain. Like if you walk into a room and you still got that strap around your ankle, I'm like, you got problems.
Please.
Like, come on. Let's go. Let's get with the society. What's going on?
All right. Next one comes from AK 199. He says, I have a trade for Lawrence, the Vikings next week. Well, trade deadline ended today, so that's not going to happen.
Might be impossible.
Damn it.
Yeah. And AK is the one that told us he likes McCarthy as the future quarterback. Make up your mind, AK. Come on. Mike G, let us know. Mike G, $5. He says, thank you. Says, I think Harbaugh loves his draft picks. Can't think of any other reasons why we wouldn't make a move. I don't buy into rebuilding when you have a franchise quarterback. That sounds like Dave's opinion.
I agree, Mike, with you right there. Obviously, that's 100% how I feel. But I don't understand. The Chargers hold on to these draft picks the way hockey teams do. Like, I don't know what it is with draft picks in hockey. God dang, man. You could get Wayne Gretzky for 2 draft picks. So why are these draft picks so valuable? It's kind of crazy how you believe that. You don't know what you're getting. Like, you literally can have $10,000, or do you want box number 2? Well, I don't know what's in box number 2.
Counter, though. Look what this last draft class, and we just said last show, it's one of the better ones in the NFL.
Yeah.
What about, year 2 of that, where every pick turns out the way it has this past year? Then you're really building something.
I mean, really, if they stay on the same path they're on right now, they're going to pick, just like Josh said, somewhere between 17 and 23, right? I'm not saying
Yeah.
trade a first round pick, but I'm like, what's that pick number when you're picking 23 and it's the 7th round? You know, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't make me sad. All right, last one comes from Bobby Sullivan, $10. He says, okay, well, an extra 10 because Mario was trying to get that Corey Taylor image was growing by 1%, and I'm a biker.
Ooh, let's go. Corey Taylor.
Corey
I had
Taylor?
to do a quick little Google who that is.
Yeah, who is that?
He is. I think he's on Slipknot. Oh, he's a Slipknot guy.
Okay.
Do you look like him?
We do not look alike at all. I think he had longer hair.
Does he have his hair like
Yeah,
you? All right.
he used to have long hair. Yeah.
Okay.
He
All
has
right.
crazy tattoos.
Do you guys have any closing remarks?
Nah. I already
All right.
gave my spiel on how it changed the world. I don't think people care. No, that's it.
Oh,
That's it.
there was a reporter like that was outside. That obviously some of these reporters are having a very long couple days with like the election and everything. And I was like driving by, and I thought it'd be funny. Like he was like laying down on the lawn. Like tell like this guy's been up for hours. He's exhausted. I rolled down the window and I was like, "Hey man, I get it. I don't think the Chargers are gonna trade for a tight end today either." And he like looked at me so confused, and I was like, "Damn, I just did this for an audience of one." That was a really good,
That's
funny
funny.
line. I know. I was sitting there like, this was really funny, but I just realized that it was funny to no one but me in this moment. So I'm just gonna give him a little wave.
There you go. There you go. All right, look, hey, subscribe to the show, like the show. We didn't ask you to do it before. If you're still around, please go ahead and give us that like, that subscribe. Appreciate it. On Thursday, though, we're going to pick the games, of course. We're also going to break down what's going to happen in the Titans-Charger game. We're all predicting a win, just like all of you, I'm sure, predicting a win, too. Doesn't mean that always happens. But we will tell you what to look out for, good and bad, from this Charger team. The picks now have become something that you might want to pay attention to if you wager on football, because Mario, no joke, is on fire. Like as good as anybody I know. Pay attention to what he's doing. We'll also let you know our scores. All of us had winning weeks, by the way. Just Mario just had a crazy week again. But we'll get into all that stuff. I am curious about this, though. If you are not watching the show live and you're going to see it on YouTube, write in the comments who you think all of us voted for president. I want to know how well people think they know it. Because someone wrote on there, Dave, you just told us who you voted for. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you who I voted for. So I'm curious to know, by our personalities, who did Dave vote for? Who did Josh vote for? Who did Mario vote for? I'm asking you to put on there. I just want to read it myself. Kind of curious to know how well you think you know the three of us. Okay. Simple enough.
Well, we can't. Are we gonna like say if they're right or wrong?
No.
Or are we just gonna laugh at? Okay,
No.
I was about to say that's
We'll
the thing.
just say, yeah. I want to see. I mean, I don't know. We could say, I don't know. We'll figure it out how we're going to respond to that. But I am curious to know what people who have been with us since we started and people who are brand new, how well do they know our personalities to see who we voted for president? Kind of curious.
This is a very good. I like this. This is very funny.
All right. So that's simple enough. So again, you can leave your YouTube comments about football as well. We responded. So again, like, subscribe. Thank you very much. We'll see you Thursday, 1:00 Pacific time, and we'll talk Chargers, Titans, and of course, do the best we can to entertain. Thank you so much for being part of the show. For Mario Heron, Josh Pele, I'm Dave Pele. We'll see you next time.